State your next witness.
Detective Vincent Lopez.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You can please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
Vincent, V-I-N-C-E-N-T, Lopez, L-O-P-E-Z.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the City of Milwaukee Police Department.
What unit are you assigned to?
I'm on the cold case of the homicide unit.
How long have you been in the homicide unit?
Approximately 5 years.
And you said you're assigned a cold case?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I primarily work on older cases. We say roughly 5 years or older. We investigate those. We follow leads on that when we develop information or get phone calls from people who want to talk to us about them. But we also help with active or newer cases.
Back in April, early April of 2024, did you assist with the investigation to the disappearance of Sade Robinson?
Yes, sir.
On April 8th of 2024, did you attend a briefing in which Ms. Robinson's disappearance was discussed and you were given information about the update in the investigation, if there was any?
Yes, that's when I first became involved with this investigation.
All right. Why don't you tell me how you became involved on April 8th?
I was at the briefing and I was informed of the update of what had occurred over off of 30th and Lisbon.
Objection, hearsay.
It's offered to explain what he did next.
If it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted, but for the effect on the listener, I'll allow it. You can answer the question.
I was informed that there was an arson of a vehicle on 30th and Lisbon, our Galena area. I was informed of a person of interest. I was a white male carrying a backpack based off of video. So myself and my partner at the time, Detective Thaddeus Schimmels, we were tasked with trying to locate any video in that neighborhood of 30th and Galena on April 8th and April 9th.
And in your searches for videos, I take it you weren't the only detectives over there searching, correct?
That's correct.
Were videos recovered in the area that showed a person walking away from that burned vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And ultimately, did that lead you to searching the area near that person's residence?
Yes.
And who was that person?
Maxwell Anderson.
So on April 8th, you joined because you're going to start, you all were helping with the video canvas near the burned vehicle. And by April 9th, you had switched gears, correct?
Yes, we actually also the 8th, we did like a secondary search near the railroad tracks. We looked for video, we collected video. And then the 9th, we pivoted to look for video and do follow-up near 3161 South 39th Street, which is the residence of Mr. Anderson.
The video search near the railroad tracks, was that a result of Sade Robinson's body parts being found in the playground off 31st and Galena?
Objection, leading.
It is leading.
Why did you search the area of the railroad tracks for video?
So when I was briefed on the 8th, I was informed that body parts were found over the weekend near the railroad tracks of 30th and Galena and Walnut.
Okay. And by April 9th, then what happened? What did you do?
Myself and Detective Schimmels went to the area of 3161 South 39th Street. Video was already begun collection in that neighborhood, but we were doing further follow-up to find more video, to locate any residences that did not provide video yet. While we were in that neighborhood, we decided to do we call it a search of the neighborhood in some yards and garbage carts and recycling carts.
Did you specifically search garbage and recycling carts in the 3100 block of South 39th Street?
Yeah, so we started West Oklahoma Avenue. We decided to kind of do a grid search of all the garbage carts. We started on Oklahoma, I think there's about 5 or 6 houses there between 39th and 40th. Started opening carts. After starting that, we realized that all these carts were empty or there was very little garbage. So right away, our mind was like, well, garbage just got picked up either today or Monday morning.
And this was on, I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, this was on Tuesday afternoon on the 9th. Regardless, we continued the search of garbage carts and recycling carts down the alley to the south going to Euclid. And there's at least a dozen residences between Oklahoma and Euclid, which includes 3161 South 39th. I was on the east end of the alley. Detective Schimmels was on the west end of the alley. Just kept going through. My mind, I was just trying to hope that we found like the large backpack that I saw on video or something that just stuck out. Kept going, and I recall that day, that afternoon, we got toward the end, closer to Euclid, so it was a few houses past the defendant's address. I remember opening one of the garbage carts and seeing an article of clothing at the bottom, but it didn't hit me at that point, and I just closed it and kept searching garbage carts. My mind was that everything got picked up by the DPW, and any evidence that would have been in carts would have been lost.
All right, I have on the screen right now, I think this is marked as Exhibit 443 already and entered. It was moved in last week. We're looking at Oklahoma Avenue where my mouse is on this map, and then below that is Euclid, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so then this street where my mouse is would be what street?
41st.
All right, this street?
South 39th Street.
All right, and then this right here, where my mouse is what?
That would be the alley. It was a T alley. You can see where you're pointing right now with the cursor. That was the Oklahoma Avenue addresses that we searched first, and then we walked south to Euclid.
And where would the defendant's residence be around on this map, if you want to get up and just point?
It'd be a little bit further south of mid-block, so I would say right around here, 3161.
So you and Detective Schimmels are just going up and down this alley, lifting the tops of the garbage carts and really not seemingly finding that there was anything in any of them?
Correct, yeah, they are all empty.
After you wrapped up for the day on April 9th, tell us what happened next.
Well, we went about continuing the investigation the 10th and 11th, continued follow-up, reviewing video that was collected, looking for more video on the north side, and then I attended a briefing on April 11th in the evening. And that's when I was alerted to somebody had put a collage of 5 still photographs of the defendant on a bus, getting off a bus off 35th and Lakefield. And I saw that at the briefing in the evening, and they were really clear photos of the hooded sweatshirt that Mr. Anderson was wearing. So then at that point, it just went through my mind that I should probably follow up on that garbage cart where I saw article of clothing.
I've got 458, which has already been admitted on the screen now. Is this the photos that you were talking about that you saw?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did it hit you after you saw that on the briefing? What day was that briefing?
The evening of April 11th.
At that briefing, it kind of hit you that you might have seen something?
Yeah, it hit me that it clicked that might be related to this case, what I saw in that cart, but I was still doubtful because the DPW went through that alley and picked up all the garbage on that whole block.
What date would DPW have gone through that block?
It was Monday, April 8th.
Do you know in your experience if DPW will pick up the carts that are empty?
It depends from what I understand.
I'm going to object on hearsay at this point.
I'll sustain the objection, but the answer will stand due to timeliness. Next question.
So did you go back to that location?
Yes, on Friday morning, April 12th, at approximately 9:20 a.m., I wanted to clear my mind of seeing what I saw in that cart. So I went back to that location, and I went through the carts again, and I came across a gray hooded sweatshirt at the bottom, and I saw a seam on it. Before I touched it at all, I saw a seam on the back of the hood, which I could see on that still photo you just had up.
Okay. Did you collect that item?
Yes, I called Detective Schimmels, who met me at that location. We took photographs and collected it.
Was there anything else in that garbage cart?
No, just a few items stuck to the bottom, but nothing loose.
Was this one of those items that was stuck to the bottom?
The sweatshirt was not stuck to the bottom. It was just laying at the bottom by itself.
Nothing on top of it?
Correct.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you these gloves. Showing you it's marked Exhibit 480. I'm just going to ask you to take a look at it and tell me if you know what it is.
This says, it's under Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office number 24-062269. Description, gray zip-up hooded sweatshirt recovered in garbage can behind 3169 South 39th Street.
Can you open that up?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Once you get it open, just take a look inside and tell me if you know what's inside the bag.
There is another bag, a brown paper bag with my handwriting on it, and I can see the gray hooded sweatshirt in that bag.
Okay, I'd move 480 in.
Any objection?
No.
480 is received.
Can you pull it out of the bag and show the jury, please?
Yes, sir. Then inside is just another bag that's full of. So that's my handwriting, and this is the
All right. Now the front of it, are there pockets on the front chest area?
Yeah, there's an upper left chest, upper right chest, and then there's a lower left for like just putting your hand in there, and a lower right for same side pocket here.
466 is on the screen here. Are you able to see the two chest pockets here?
Yes, sir.
Do they appear to be the exact same pockets as on that jacket?
Yes, sir.
And then one of his hands is in the lower pockets, right?
Yes.
And then it looks like there's an item in the, what would be his lower right pocket.
Yes.
And on the left sleeve of that, some kind of item.
Yeah, it's a black patch. It says deluxe, so there's a little design on there.
Is it kind of the shape of a shield?
Yes. Oh, it's a fox. It's deluxe with a little face of a fox.
I'm going to show you 478 and 479. I'll just hold these up for you.
Yes.
What are 478 and 479?
There were still photographs of the defendant on the bus.
Move 478, 479, and ask to publish.
Any objection?
No.
478 and 479 are received. Go right ahead.
479 first. Are you able to see that same emblem on the left shoulder?
Yes, same shape, same size.
And 478, can you see it again?
Yes, it's more turned toward his bicep, but I can still see it.
All right, you can put that in the bags. I'm going to show you exhibits 389 through 402. Take a look at those and tell me if you know what they are.
Yes, I'm aware.
Are those all photographs from the date of the recovery of this sweatshirt?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to move each of those exhibits in and ask to publish.
No objection, Your Honor.
Can I have the numbers one more time, please?
389 through 402.
Thank you. They're received. Go right ahead.
Starting with 389, Detective. What is that?
That's a photograph of the front of 3169 South 39th Street, which was the residence where the garbage carts were for.
And I'm going to put up 391 here. What's that?
This is a view of 3169 to the left, and then it's pointing to the north, so that would show two houses down as 3161 South 39th Street.
I don't think there's a 390, just for the record. So the numbers were correct on the exhibit numbers, except 390. There is none in this stack.
So 389 to 402, excluding 390.
Yes, I
Got
believe
it.
so. And if that's wrong, I will correct us. All right. So you found the sweatshirt behind this house,
Yes, sir.
and one house, two houses over, that would be 3161?
Objection, leading. It's fine.
Okay.
It was leading. I'll sustain the objection. Ask your next question.
What house is this?
3161 South 39th.
392 is on the screen now. What are we looking at here?
This is a photograph of the back of 3161 South 39th.
The defendant's residence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And to orient us, 393. Now where are we looking?
We're looking to the south in the direction of where the carts were that I located the sweatshirt.
Right up here that my pen is pointing to. What is that?
That's going to be 3169 South 39th Street.
What's the object I'm pointing to?
A basketball hoop.
394.
That's just a close-up of getting closer to 3169 South 39th Street.
All right, I'm going to skip 395 because it's a repeat. 396 is on the screen right now. What are we looking at?
That's a photograph of the garbage cart and the recycling cart behind 3169.
Is that, which one of those is the one you looked in?
The left one. The
Green?
The green.
Okay. 397.
This is a photograph with the lid open, showing the sweatshirt at the bottom.
398.
And that's a close-up with the camera halfway down there, down the cart, showing the sweatshirt.
No other bags of garbage were in there?
There was none.
Anything else in that garbage cart besides the stuff stuck to the bottom?
No, that was it.
Was it light? The garbage cart, when you grabbed it yourself, did it feel like anything was in there?
No, it did not.
399.
This was me recovering the sweatshirt, and Detective Schimmel's taking a photograph of showing it, the whole front of it.
Now, and obviously you'd pulled it out of the cart by now, but if you had just done a cursory lift of that garbage cart, would you have even seen that jacket?
Objection calls for speculation.
No, I'll allow that. He can answer that if he's able to.
If you're going to lift it without looking, no, you wouldn't know. It'd just feel the weight of the actual cart itself.
Did you look inside the pockets of that hoodie or jacket or whatever you want to call it?
When I recovered it, I could feel objects in the pockets. I did not take them out until we got down to our building with the sweatshirt. But as I was putting the sweatshirt into this brown bag, a book of pocket matches came out of the upper left chest pocket.
400. What are we looking at?
We are now downtown in our evidence room. We have the sweatshirt laid out, taking an overall photograph of it, somewhat zipped up. And them are the matches that came out of the upper left pocket.
401, what's that?
This is a Bic lighter. There was a little smudge toward the bottom of it. This was recovered in the lower right pocket of the sweatshirt.
And 402, finally, what is that?
This is all the items out of the pocket. The blue and black Swiss Army knife, very small blade. That was in the lower left pocket of the sweatshirt. And then the other two matchbooks and that small keychain lighter, which the light did work, those were all found in the upper left pocket with that box of matches that fell out.
Okay, so just help me understand, is one of these box of matches in this photograph one of the ones that originally fell out?
Yeah, it's gonna be the bottom one.
So this is the one I'm pointing to, that's the one that fell out when you were originally starting to go through it.
Yes,
And then in addition to that, you found how many more boxes of matches?
the two on top, so 3 total.
And then what is this gray item here?
It's a keychain, just a flat light. I might have said lighter, but it's a light.
Okay.
And just one of those little push button lights, put it on and it gives you a little bit of light, and it worked.
It's not a flame.
Correct, not a flame.
This item here, what is this?
That's a Swiss Army knife. It's got the tools like a corkscrew and a little bit of a file on it and a little blade.
Were there matches within these matchbooks?
Yes,
And the last item is, I have 401, that's the lighter.
yes, that was by itself in the lower right pocket.
Were there any other items found in the pockets of that jacket or hoodie?
No,
What was the condition of the hoodie?
it was wet throughout, dirty. Just, there's some dirt on it, some stains on it, but it was wet.
Do you recall the weather around that time, early April, what it was like?
It did rain earlier in the week.
Okay. Showing you exhibits 481 through 486. What are those items?
These are the items that we just went over on the photograph that I collected out of the pockets. This is my handwriting. It's a Swiss knife, a lighter, the small little keychain light, and then the 3 boxes of matches.
Move 481 through 486 into evidence.
Any objection?
No.
They're received.
And did you make contact with the resident of, was it 3169?
Yes, that's correct. I did.
Do you know her name?
I think it was LaShonda Harvey.
Prior to going out there to do that search of that alley, had you learned from other investigators whether or not the hooded jacket had been recovered?
I learned on that night of the 11th, it was brought up about the jacket or backpack, or the sweatshirt or backpack, and then I learned that neither was recovered during the search warrant or during any type of searches.
And in your searches of the alley, we'll strike that. That's what made you go back out there, right?
Yes.
And in those searches, did you ever recover the camouflage backpack?
No, sir.
Nothing else?
Cross?
Thank you. You played a number of roles in this case beyond just looking in trash cans, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Including going to 27th and Lisbon to look for witnesses. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I did.
And actually, you did that on April 8th, didn't you?
Yes.
You and Mr. Schimmels, you just talked earlier about Thaddeus Schimmels. You and Detective Schimmels drove up and down Lisbon Avenue.
That's correct.
Because you're familiar with the timeline in this case, I'm sure, right?
Yes, sir.
That we have April 2nd, that there's a vehicle that is on fire and the days of what happened afterwards, right?
Yes, I learned all that on the 8th, correct?
Including that Mr. Anderson was arrested on April 4th, right?
Yes,
Okay, so we know that for sure, arrested on April 4th.
yes, sir.
And obviously the arson happening a couple of days before that.
That's correct.
But the reason why on April 8th you went down Lisbon Avenue is because you did that briefing on that day, and it was decided that you would go out looking for these women who are seen on video pointing in the direction of the car, right?
Yes, I saw that video, and the couple females on that video we were trying to locate, identify.
And the reason why you wanted to do that was because you could see those, at least one of the women having some sort of a reaction. And as of April 8th, no law enforcement had spoken with her by that point.
That's correct.
So for days, almost a week, 6 days after the car has gone up in flames, neither of those women has ever spoken with law enforcement as far as you knew.
That's true.
And since it had been 6 days or so and this woman hadn't made any statements, you thought maybe if we drive down Lisbon Avenue, we might find her.
That's correct.
And that's what you did.
Yes.
And you showed a photo array.
Objection. Calls for hearsay.
I didn't ask anything about what an,
No, I'm going to overrule that objection as to that question. You can answer that question.
Yes, I showed a photo array.
in a photo array is what?
It's a procedure that we use to show witnesses or victims of potential suspects. It's the target is going to be the suspect and then 5 fillers. So the person goes folder by folder to try to identify the suspect.
And the person who you administered that photo array to is a woman named Laura Dyer, correct?
Yes, sir.
You concluded that Laura Dyer was one of the 2 women who had been near the scene of that car going up in flames.
I'm going to object. The answer to that question requires hearsay.
Any response?
I'm not going to ask about anything she said specifically, but it's to show why he showed it's to show the effect on him, why he showed a photo array to these individuals.
So if you're not offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, you're offering it for the effect on the listener, the information that that was garnered. I will allow you to answer that question.
Can you repeat it?
One of the women, who was the woman that you showed the photo array to?
Laura Dyer.
Very good. Now, that happened on April 8th, right?
Yes, sir.
Did the photo array.
Yes.
You talked to her.
Yes.
And just to be clear, as far as you know, that's the only time she spoke with law enforcement.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Now, moving forward, and then on that day, there were other things you did too, looking for more videos and things like that nearby.
That's correct.
You would agree that the amount of videos that you've reviewed is rather extensive, right?
Yes.
I won't go through all of them with you here on the stand, but in general, you're also aware of the fact that there is video surveillance. When we were looking at remember we had the map up of the alley and the trash can area? You remember that?
Yes, sir.
You're even aware that there was video surveillance of the home across the street from Mr. Anderson's house, right?
Yes.
Okay, that there's a video camera that may not be the best quality, but allows one to look into essentially down the pathway leading to the alley, right?
Yes, sir.
And you canvassed that whole area, including the alley area, for videos as well, right?
Yes, I know there's initial video canvas done by other shifts, and then we piggybacked off of them to try to get addresses that they had no answers.
Okay. Who do you see on video putting that sweatshirt into the trash can?
Any video I've seen, I did not see anybody. You cannot see a person put anything in that trash can. The trash can's off camera view.
So to be clear, there is no video of Max Anderson putting that sweatshirt in a trash can.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there a video of Max Anderson, for example, wearing that sweatshirt, walking just off camera by a trash can, and then coming back on camera with no sweatshirt on?
Not to my knowledge.
Well, we know he had it on the bus because we saw the photo and the video, right?
Yes, sir.
And then beyond that, what can you say about the sweatshirt? You found it April 12th,
Yes, sir.
11 days, 10 days later,
That's correct.
during which time there had been at least 2 trash pickups, according to your testimony. Right? April 8th, you said there had been a trash pickup.
There would have just been on that, he returned on the 2nd later, so yeah, it would have been just on the 8th.
There would have been one on April 8th, and you didn't recover that until 4 days after the trash DPW. When you said DPW before, you meant the trash department.
Yeah, Department of Public Works, they oversee the garbage collection.
Okay, and April 8th, they would have gone through the alley and picked up the trash.
Yes, they did.
Okay. And we know by April 8th, Mr. Anderson's been arrested, right?
That's correct.
And then somehow 4 days later, this sweatshirt is found.
That's correct.
And it's your testimony that you actually went there on April 9th, right?
After the afternoon of April 9th, we were over there checking for video, and we did that also.
One of the things you did was go up and down the lot and physically jiggle look in the cans and or jiggle them, right?
Yes.
With respect to the specific can 3169, can you say that on April 9th you looked in that trash can, or is that just one of the ones you jiggled?
I looked in it and I saw an object down there, and I just remember that in my memory.
So if trash came on April 8th, then the next day is when you would have believed you saw that same sweatshirt.
I did see it, yes.
You believe it's the same one as you testify?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what would be important is obviously take that sweatshirt, test it for what a DNA and other such things, right?
Yes, I packaged it, and that was the plan.
And to see if there's any hair follicles in it, for example,
Yes,
or blood would be important to look for as well.
very true.
And you did all of that, you packaged it and had it processed for all of that testing, right?
No, I packaged it all, and then some of the items I took to our forensics unit to be swabbed for DNA. All the items, like the Swiss Army knife, the matches, the lighter, the keychain light. And then I physically met Detective Kayla and gave her the property.
Right. And when you keep saying lighter, what you mean is actually the flashlight thing.
Well, there was the Bic lighter, and then there was the little keychain flashlight.
Okay. You're aware, you've seen video of Mr. Anderson smoking, right? Or no?
No,
Okay, you're not aware if he's a smoker or not a smoker.
I have no idea.
You would agree that smokers often carry Bic lighters with them,
Yes,
or matches.
correct.
Now, you did say that you spoke with the homeowner about her trash behind her house. You did interview that person, right?
Yes, sir.
And your partner is Detective, who requested fingerprints from the matchbook and the lighter and the knife? That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, I took those items to forensics for processing of DNA or fingerprints, depending on the material.
What were the results?
Fingerprints, nothing. DNA that was swabbed, and I gave those DNA swabs to the sheriff's department.
What do you mean nothing for fingerprints, meaning there were none?
Correct.
Not that they were and they didn't match.
That's correct.
And obviously, you're going to agree with me that things can be missed, right?
Yes, sir.
An example being, you look in a trash can, you see something, it doesn't register that it was important at that time and it gets missed, right?
Yes, sir.
Same thing can be true just for any officer can miss something, right?
Yes, it can happen.
And in this case, all the testing that's done is crime lab stuff for DNA and things like that, right?
Yes.
What about testing a sweatshirt, for example, for flammable liquid? Would that be something important to do?
Yes, that would all be, the whole sweatshirt would be sent to the crime lab for processing of what they deem necessary.
Okay. Now, since you're familiar a little bit with the timeline in this case, you are aware that there were multiple searches on Mr. Anderson's home, right?
I was aware a search warrant was executed there. I don't know the details, and I don't know how many times.
Okay, so you're not familiar with how many times law enforcement went into the home.
That's correct. I have no idea.
Do you have any idea, well, let me ask this question. April 9th, okay, let me take you back to April 9th. You've had the briefing on April 8th, you're going through the alley, you're looking in bins, right?
Yes.
On that day, and obviously on that day, you know which home is Mr. Anderson's home, right? It's been communicated and you've been there.
Yes.
On that, first of all, this sweatshirt was not found in Mr. Anderson's trash can, right?
That's correct.
Nor is it in a burn pit in his backyard or anything like that, right?
It was not.
When you went down the alley on April 9th,
That's correct.
Mr. Anderson's home was not surrounded by law enforcement at that time.
It was not.
It wasn't being actively processed as a search scene, right?
That's correct.
In fact, the only law enforcement there were you and Thaddeus Schimmels.
Yes.
And that was what time of day that you were going through the alley on April 9th?
It was the afternoon.
Okay. So then the morning, you didn't as a detective instruct a deputy to keep eyes on this alley at all times, did you?
No, I did not.
Well, when you try to piece things together with video surveillance, because there is some video surveillance in that alley, isn't there?
Yes.
So when you try to piece things together with video surveillance, are you able to piece together a time frame in which Mr. Anderson supposedly put, can you even say that Mr. Anderson put that in the trash can?
No, I cannot.
Okay, that's all.
State?
Did you attempt to figure out the timeline of when that would have gotten into that trash can?
We tried.
Did you do that by talking to the woman who lives there?
Yes.
What'd you learn?
I found out that she was in and out on vacation and used very little trash, which is why it was no garbage in there, and there was no article of clothing that she put in that garbage cart.
And did you follow up with DPW to try to figure out if they had in fact picked up that specific can?
Yes.
What'd you learn?
We learned that
I'm going to object on hearsay grounds what DPW said.
I think he opened the door for this.
It's still hearsay.
Any other response?
No, he opened the door to it.
And they can,
I still need a hearsay exception or reasoning underlying.
I'll ask a different question.
Go ahead.
You talked to the DPW workers about whether or not they picked up the can that day, correct?
Yes,
And you'd agree there is no video camera that captures that can.
there is not.
And so are you even aware of whether that can was actually put into a DPW truck?
I don't know.
Do you know whether their typical practice is to empty every can?
again, that calls for hearsay.
No, I think that could be based on his own experience and knowledge, and I think if it's his opinion as to it, he can answer that.
They are supposed to dump every garbage cart.
Do they always do that?
No.
Nothing else.
Pence?
Yes, on the homeowner, she didn't say she put out no trash, right?
She said she had very little trash during this time frame because she was on vacation a few times.
Right, during portions of time she was on vacation, but she still had some trash, just less than normal.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
State?
Nothing more.
Thank you, Detective Lopez.
You're welcome.